In Islamic scholarship, consistency is primarily discussed under the concept of istiqamah, Arabic istiqamat, derived from the root meaning to stand straight or to be upright. It refers to a state of steadfastness in faith, character, and action. Muslim scholars view consistency not just as a habit, but as the pinnacle of spiritual maturity. First, the theological definition. Scholars define istiqamah as the middle path, avoiding both extremes of negligence and overexertion. Sufyan bin Abdullah once asked the Prophet Muhammad for a concise commandment to live by. The Prophet replied, "Say, I believe in Allah, and then be steadfast, remain consistent." Sahih Muslim. Second, consistency in worship ibadah. Scholarship emphasizes that small, regular acts are superior to large, sporadic ones. This is rooted in the prophetic tradition. The most beloved of deeds to Allah are those that are most consistent, even if they are small. Sahih Bukhari. Scholarly perspectives. The water on stone analogy. Scholars often compare consistent worship to water dripping on a rock. A flood passes by and leaves the rock unchanged, but steady drops eventually carve a path through it. Protection against hypocrisy. Consistency is seen as a safeguard. Scholars argue that anyone can be pious for a day, but only the sincere Siddiqun maintain their character when the initial burst of motivation, Iman, fades. Third, the three pillars of istiqamah. Scholars like Imam al-Ghazali categorize consistency into three specific areas. Area description. Consistency of the heart, maintaining a sincere intention, niyyah, and firm belief without succumbing to constant doubt. Consistency of the tongue, refraining from backbiting, lying, or idle talk consistently, regardless of the company one keeps. Consistency of limbs, performing physical acts of service and worship like the 5 daily prayers, regardless of mood or life circumstances. Fourth, challenges to consistency. Muslim scholars identify several thieves of consistency. Gulu, extremism, taking on too much too fast, leading to burnout, fatra, becoming impressed with one's own consistency, which leads to a decline in effort. Environment. Scholars emphasize that consistency is nearly impossible without a supportive community, suba. To be steadfast for a single moment is greater than 1,000 miracles, karamat. Traditional Sufi aphorism. Fifth, scriptural references. The Quran highlights consistency as a prerequisite for divine peace and success. Surah Fussilat 41-30. Indeed, those who have said, "Our Lord is Allah," and then remain steadfast, the angels will descend upon them, saying, "Do not fear and do not grieve." Surah Al-Ahqaf 46-13 reaffirms that those who maintain consistency will have no fear or grief on the Day of Judgment. To help you build a routine rooted in these classical principles, scholars often focus on the concept of riyada, spiritual training. The goal is to move from forced effort to natural habit. 5 practical strategies derived from the works of scholars like Imam al-Ghazali and Ibn al-Jawzi. First, the principle of Qalilun Dawam, small and continuous. Don't overhaul your life in 24 hours. Scholars suggest the minimum viable deed, the logic. If you commit to 2 hours of night prayer and fail, you feel guilt and quit entirely. If you commit to 10 minutes and succeed, you build the muscle of discipline. Action. Choose one habit, for example, reading 2 pages of a book or a specific prayer, and commit to it for 40 days without exception. Second, musharata, the morning contract. Before the day begins, scholars recommend stipulating terms with yourself. Action. Spend 2 minutes after the dawn prayer, Fajr, explicitly stating what you will and will not do. Today, I will not lose my temper, and I will complete my focused work session at 10 a.m. Third, muraqabah and muhasabah, the feedback loop. Consistency fails when there is no accountability. Scholars use a 2-step cycle. Muraqabah, checking in with your intention during the act. Muhasabah, accounting, a nightly review. Ask, where did I slip today? Why did I break my consistency? Fourth, guarding the fatra, the low points. Every person experiences a dip in motivation. The Prophet Muhammad mentioned that every period of energy has a period of rest, fatra. The scholarly view. The key to consistency isn't staying at 100% energy. It's ensuring that during your low periods, you don't drop below the obligatory, the baseline. Action. Define your baseline. Even on your worst day, what is the absolute minimum you must achieve to keep the chain alive? Fifth, Suba, environment design. Scholars emphasize that the will is weak, but the environment is strong. Action. Surround yourself virtually or physically with people who find your difficult habits to be normal. If your peers are consistent, you will be too. Comparison of consistency models. Classical term, modern equivalent purpose. Riyada habit tracking. Training building discipline through repetition. Mujahada deep work, struggle, pushing through the initial resistance. Iqtisad sustainability. Avoiding burnout by staying moderate.